Welcome back to my channel, or in this case streaming. Anyway, so I couldn't come online yesterday because I had some stuff to sort out and I had to spend some more time, studying yesterday. So that's why I didn't come on. I had to stay up until I think like 5 o'clock in the morning just to finish up a project, or I would say homework from my school. So anyways, um, ranked reset just hit. So right now I am in gold 5, as you can see right here. Um, Gold 5. I was Plat 1, so after reset, I did go back to Gold 5. So today I will be doing ranked climb with prank kids. Let's see how many days, or I guess hours, it takes for us to climb back up to Plat 1. So, yeah, let's get it right into it. So, first two, after the rank reset, match history I'll show you. No match history whatsoever for me. And the deck that I will be using for the rank climb will be Prank Kids. Just as a reminder, this is the deck that I'm playing right now currently. Same deck that I have in almost the video descriptions that I post on YouTube. I have not made any changes to the deck itself. Uh, as I said, I am thinking about adding one or two droplets uh, and one more Prank Kids pranks. I'm thinking about removing one of the Prank Kids plays and one Pandemonium to add one or two droplets, and I think I would remove one more. I guess I could remove Prank Kids Roxy's to add one more Prank Kids pranks, or I could just do one Forbidden Droplet in exchange for one Pandemonium and one Prank Kids pranks in exchange for Prank Kids plays. Anyways, that's for later. So let's start my ranked dual climb. So first game after the rank reset, let's see what we get. So usually, um, after the reset, once it goes down, you will end up facing, I would say, gold fives. Even if you are gold five, and if you start a little later, you will start facing gold ones immediately, because that's just how the matchmaking works. Anyways, we won the coin toss. I did select to go first, and we did not start with a brick hand. So anyways, normal summon out the named Prank Kids monster, just hoping that I mean, we do have a Call by the Grave in our hand, so I guess Maxi and Ash Blossom don't affect us as much as okay, so he doesn't have any hand traps that can counter my player as of now. He could have a Nibiru, and I don't have any counters in my hand for the Nibiru itself. The counters for Nibiru, I mean, not counters, but cards to play through the Nibiru, I would say. And the cards to play through the Nibiru in your deck are your Instant Fusion and your Monster Reborn. As even if your opponent Nibiru's you with Instant Fusion, you could go into Rocket Ride, because Nibiru would hit you after you special summon out your Doodle Doo and one more named Prank Kids card. Before I get into that, off of the Fancy Search, since I am going for a one card combo, I'll get Prank Kids Place from my deck into my hand. And off of the Fancy's effect, I will discard Prank Kids Place since I have a Pandemonium in my hand. But usually you want to discard the Pandemonium so that even if your opponent Ash Blossoms or somehow negates your Doodle Doo, you could still activate Doodle Doo's effect and get the Pandemonium out of your graveyard and back into your hand. So off of the Fancies, I'll summon out my third named monster that is needed to go into my Battle Butler. And since this is a one card combo, you go into two Doodle Doos. So that's the first Doodle Doo, and this is going to be my second Doodle Doo. And since the opponent's field didn't light up on my fifth summon, which was the Lamses, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a Nibiru in his hand, or he could have turned his toggle on off and is waiting for us to end our turn to Nibiru us. So anyways, let's just get on with our play. As I was saying, with Instant Fusion, you could go into Rocket Ride, and then by using Rocket Ride's effect, you could get out a Doodle Doo and a named Prank Kids monster that you hadn't used the effect of that got hit with the Nabu and got sent to the graveyard. So you could still go on from in your normal play after that. And with Monster Reborn, you just Monster Reborn the Doodle Doo, activate Doodle Doo's effect, get out of Pandemonium and a name Pranket's card, and go into your combo through Pandemonium. Anyways, we'll summon out our second last named Pranket's card on the field, and now we activate Doodle Doo's effect and get out a named Pranket's monster card. And the second card is situational. If you don't have a Pandemonium hand, you could get out a Pandemonium. If you don't have a Pranket's Pranks in your hand and you discard the Pranket's Pranks, you can get a Pranket's Pranks in your hand. So over here, I am gonna get a Pranket's Place because I wanna activate Pranket's Place and then get a named monster from by using the effect of Pranket's Place. I'll get a named monster into my hand, which in this case will be a Dropsies. You could get any named Pranket's monster from your deck into your hand using Pranket's Place, but I just want to get Dropsies. It doesn't matter what card you get. Usually you want to get one card piece for your Butler combo, which would be your Fansies, your Dropsies, or your Lamsies. But again, it's a situational play. Sometimes you want to go for Roxy's. Like going for Roxy's is your last option. You only go for Roxy's if you don't have any of the other three named Pranket's monsters in your deck to surge off of the Pranket's Place. So yeah. Anyway, so the one card combo ends with using Pranket's Place, Pranket's Pranks, using its effect to discard the card that you got off of the Doodle Doo's effect, especially when you got a token, and using the token and the Roxy's in the field, you go into your Bow Bark, and then activate the effect of Roxy's. So now I have so I completely forgot I had a Polymerization in my hand. I could have gone into Totally Awesome and a Bubble Bark on the field, but anyway, since I am not gonna go into my Totally Awesome combo, I am gonna select Polymerization as the banishment card. And usually off of the end of the combo, off of the Roxy's, you want to special summon out of Fansies on the field. So that's why I got the Dropsies in my hand off of the Pranket's Place Surge and not the Fansies, because I want to have the Fansies on the field. Because Fansies is a normal summon monster and your opponent's normal summon monster usually cannot get over the... Like usual normal summon monsters can't get over the 2k defense the Fancy offers. So that's why you usually summon out your Fansies at the end of the combo. Anyway, so I'm going to set down my Skill Drain, my Pandemonium, and my Call by the Grave. Put this on, and then end my turn. Now it's going to prompt me to use Pranket's Pranks effects. I am going to select yes. I'm going to get one Doodle Doo, one Fansies since I have Fansies on the field, and I am going to choose to get one Dropsy since I have Dropsies in my hand. Usually if you don't have the other prank names, okay, so this is really lucky for us since we got the Butler combo, so even if our Doodle Doo Bow Barks gets denied its effect, we could still go into our Butler combo. But as I was saying, usually if you don't have a named Pranket's card in your hand, you want to go for your half of the Pranket's Pranks effect. You want to get your Doodle Doo, your one named Pranket's monster card that is on the field that is duplicate in your graveyard, in your usual case, which would be your Fansies and your Roxy's. So those are the three cards, the usual three cards that you want to get back into your deck off of the Pranket's Pranks effect. But since I had a Dropsies in my hand, I want to get the extra copy that I had in my graveyard back into my deck. So that's why I did that play. Anyways, it's my opponent's turn, and he is playing the what do you call that? The Magician, Pendulum Magician FTK, I'm assuming. So if he is playing that, I am gonna activate Skill Drain. So the Skill Drain is gonna deny his Perform Pal Skullcrobat effect. What this card does, this card is only gonna have one Perform Monster, Magician, Pendulum Monster, Aurodize Monster from deck to your hand except for point. Okay, so he was just searching for a monster off of this effect, which I denied using Skill Drain. And this was his normal summon, it wasn't a special summon. So now he can only go into a Pendulum summon. So now since he is opting to go into a Pendulum Summon, he's setting up his magic skill on this back row. I am gonna instantly go into my Battle Butler. And Battle Butler, since Skill Drain is active, will only allow me one pop, which will sacrifice the Battle Butler itself. So we have to be really careful using the Battle Butler's effect. Now, okay, so the opponent's surrender. So I was gonna say, if you know what your opponent is playing, you generally don't want to start by activating your skill drain. You want to activate um, your Pandemonium first. So you use Pandemonium, go into your Battle Butler. You use Battle Butler's effect once by by banishing your Meowmo. So you get one pop up with Battle Butler. Then you activate your skill drain. So you get two pops of the Battle Butler, but you still deny your opponent from activating cards effects on the field, the monster's effects on the field. So anyway, that was the first duel. Let's get on with the next duel. So as I was, I guess I'll show you after this game, but I'm pretty sure my opponent was playing Magician's FTK Pendulum Odd Eyes deck. Anyway, won the coin toss, gold 5 versus gold 5. We will choose to go first. And let's see what kind of hand we get first. Just hope it's not too much of a bricky hand. Not too bad. We got a negation against Ash Blossom, but we don't have any protection against our opponent's Ash Blossom. Or protection against Maxi, but no protection against our opponent's Ash Blossom. So what I'll do, I'll start by normal thinning out my Lamseys. So now I know my opponent doesn't have Infinite Impermanence or Maxi because my opponent's field didn't light up. Generally, when you normal summon out or special summon out a monster on the field and your opponent's field lights up, that means they either have a Maxi in their hand or they have an Infinite Impermanence in their hand, because those are the only cards. Infinite Impermanence can be used when you have no cards on your field, and Maxi is, just Maxi. You can use it anytime you want. So now I know I'm safe from two hand traps. So now all we have to worry about is Ash Blossom, the Ash Blossom on our Lamseys effect. So my opponent doesn't have any Ash Blossom either, because I know that because my opponent's field didn't light up, right? As soon as if their field lit up, then I know they have some kind of hand trap that they can use to negate this effect, but they don't have it, so we can go into our combo. This is gonna be a one card combo because I had two copies of Lamseys in my hand. So now I'm gonna go into my doodle-doo, and as always, chain link, not always, generally, but I mostly chain link one Fansies and then chain link to my doodle-doo because I want to protect the Fansies effect of special summoning out a monster on my field to carry out my combo. But if you need to secure your doodle-doo's effect, in some cases where you need to have your doodle-doo's effect go off to search for one of his spell cards in your deck, you maybe want to chain link one doodle-doo and chain link two Fansies if you don't care too much about the special summon on the field. So off of the doodle-doo search, since this is a one card combo, we go for Prankist Pranks. And then off of the Fansies, we discard, since we already have a Pandemonium in your hand, I am going to discard a Prankist Place. Usually you want to discard a Pandemonium off of the Fansies, but as I said, we already had a Pandemonium in our hand, and then special summon out a monster, which is going to be Dropsies. And this is our fifth summon right here. So on my opponent's board didn't light up, so we can assume that he doesn't have a Nibiru, or he has this turned off in case he wants to Nibiru us at the end of our turn. Anyways, so we go into our second doodle-doo. Then use the effect of Dropsies in our graveyard. You get 1000 life points, and no, I don't want to do anything to that effect. You special summon out your second last piece of the named monster, which is your Prankist Roxy's. Then you activate the effect of Doodle-Doo. And then over here, again, you have an option of taking out two named Prankist cards if you have Pandemonium and Pranks in your hand. But I am gonna select Prankist Place because I want to buff up my Butler to 3500 when it gets special summoned, in case our opponent has some kind of a monster that can get over our 3k Butler and is indestructible by card effects, and he somehow gets it out on the field. And the other monster I'll get will be, it doesn't matter, you can get any card because you can discard it anyways. In this case, it's Fancies and Prank His Place. Then I'll activate Prank His Pranks. No to the effects of those. Activate Prank His Pranks. Discard the card that you got of the Doodle-Doo, which in my case was Fancies, and no to the effect. And you special summon out a token. Once the token hits the field, you go into special summoning your Bow Wow Bark, which is your last combo piece off of for this combo, the one card combo. And then you activate Roxas in your graveyard, and then you banish one card from your hand, which I will choose to banish a Prank Kid's Place since I already have one of the monsters for. I have I have like okay, so now I have all three monsters I need for the Battle Butler combo. So I got Dropsies, Lamsies, and Fancies. So even if my Doodle-Doo gets denied, I can still go into Battle Butler since I have all three cards. So put this on, and then you end your turn. It's gonna prompt you to use Prank Kids Pranks, which I'll hit yes. And off of this, I'll get one Doodle-Doo, one Fancies. Since I have all three monsters needed for Battle Butler, I could choose any card I want except for Meowmoo. But I will choose to have Dropsies, another copy of Dropsies in my deck, because if I want to go into Totally Awesome, I need to have two Dropsies copies in my deck or in my hand, so I can special summon them out and then go to Totally Awesome on my next turn. So I'm gonna, and the card I put in my deck I drew, okay. Okay, so over here on your opponent's draw phase, anytime you have Maxi in your hand with this combo, you want to activate Maxi's effect first, because if they have a Called by the Grave or an Ash Blossom, this Maxi, if they are a combo deck, this Maxi will eat their Called by the Grave or Ash Blossom, which will, which will save your Doodle-Doo's effect. I mean, Bow Wow Bark's effect. So, okay, so our opponent chose not to do anything. He does have something in his hand, but our opponent chose not to use it on Maxi. So now I'll chain link my Bow Wow Bark to it. No to using Meowmoo. The cards, these are the only two cards you can select from the graveyard. So let's see. And our opponent chose not to do anything to our Bow Wow Bark. And our effect of Bow Wow Barks and Maxis went through. So standby phase, main phase 1. Now it's my opponent's turn, and let's see what kind of deck they're playing. So they are playing a Harpy deck. What does this card do? Okay, so it adds. I am gonna choose to Ash Blossom it because they can use this card's effect to get their. What? Any monster effects your opponent activates. If you control Harpy monster, you can activate this card for this card. This turn negate any monster effects your opponent activates. Okay, so basically it's gonna negate our Battle Butler completely. So what I can do, I'll go into Battle Butler anyways. Any monster effects your opponent activates, right? So, okay, so chaining the Pandemonium to this, does it negate any monster effects your opponent activates? So I don't know if this card hard denies any monster activation, like if like does it deny the monster activations from the grave? Okay, so it denies monster activations from the graveyard or hand traps. All right, so the effect of this will go through. And Ash Blossom is considered a monster. It is a monster, so that card denies that monster's effect. And that was the card that I was trying to deny him from getting, the Elegant Egotist, which will let him special summon out a Harpy from his hand or deck if a Harpy Lady is on the field. So now I'll see if I can activate these three cards' effects. I don't know if these cards' effect will go through because of the Harpy's Feather Storm. Let's see if they go through. Uh, no, I will not activate my Battle Butler right now. So okay, so it denies all three activations. So I can I'll be left with having only Battle Butler on the field. So even Battle Butler's effect is denied, so he can't go into his full combo, which I cannot stop. So let's see how our opponent plays it. So he does have an Elegant Egotist in his hand, so he can special summon out another Harpy monster from his hand or his deck, since he does have a Harpy Lady on the field, which this card's name will become once it gets summoned out on the field. And that's the field spell for Harpies. Um, if once per turn, if a wind monster you control returns to the hand, you can special summon one. Okay, so basically it's returning one card on the field back to your hand and special summoning out another card. So he does activate his Elegant Egotist. Okay, normal summons out Harpy Lady 1. Special summons out Harpy Lady 1. Now he'll go into either a Synchro. He needs a tuner for a Synchro, right? So he could go into Link Summon. If he has a Fusion spell in his hand, he could go into a Fusion, he could go to an XYZ Summon. You never know what kind of rogue decks you run into in Cold, right? So he does go into his Harpy, his boss monster. It's 2600 to my 3000. What's this? From graveyard deck to your hand, and then these cards. Okay, so he is gonna add Elegant Egotist back from his graveyard or deck to his hand. To the hand. Okay, so he's gonna make my field become empty off of this. Alright. That is gonna go back into my extra deck. He got his Elegant Egotist back in his hand, and he chose to get it back from his deck instead of his graveyard. Does it only from a deck or graveyard? So he chose not to get the one from his graveyard and chose to get the one from his deck. Alright. So I don't know what card that is that he put face down. So I'll start off by activating my Prank His Place, see if he has any Ash Blossom, or see if I can bait out any Ash Blossom he may have in his hand. Alright, so let's see what he does. So he does have an some kind of an answer to the Prank His Place that I put up. I don't know what it is. So let's see if he activates that answer. I'm assuming he probably has an Ash Blossom or some kind. That is spell trap card if it is activated. Not sure opponent controls one Harpy. Okay, so he chose to shoot himself in the foot with that and basically just surrendered off of it. Alright. So this is usually like, okay, so after the reset, say you were like Plat, say you were like Plat 5, you'd still get pushed down to Gold 5. So Plat 1 players get pushed down to Gold 5, and Plat 5 players get pushed down to Gold 5 as well. So it creates kind of a discrepancy between matchups for players. So like you see a lot of, if you play at a high level in Plat 1, like you keep playing against Plat 1 players that know how to combo, that know how to use their cards, that know how to use their decks to their advantage, get card advantage and everything, and then you end up facing against people like this, you kind of figure out that, you know, they weren't Plat 1, or, you know, their skill level wasn't at Plat 1. So anyways, Konami has to fix that, have to fix that, and I am assuming they will fix it by implementing more ranks after Platinum. I'm just waiting for them to implement more ranks. Anyways, so new game, new hand, not a bricky hand, but nothing to counteract any maxis or ash blossoms or any hand traps in general or Nibiru. Okay, so I will, since I have the combo pieces for a butler in my hand, I can go into a two-part combo. I I'll so since I have Prankish Pranks in my hand, I search for Pandemonium off of the off of the Doodle-Doo anyways. So he does have an Ash Blossom in his hand, since usually when you activate, and there it is, when you activate an effect from your graveyard for the Prank Kids, um, they hit you with the Ash Blossom. Okay, so what I can do now is activate this, uh, discard this, do that, and then I can't, since I don't have Pandemonium, I'm kind of forced to go into a Doodle-Doo play. So I will go into Doodle-Doo, activate Doodle-Doo, and at least get a Prank Kids Pandemonium from my deck to my hand. So now, what I can do is I will use Pandemonium, since I have a named monster in my hand that I haven't used the effect of, and then I will choose to go into Prank Kids Rocket Ride off of the Doodle-Doo and the named monster that I had in my hand, which was Fancies, and then activate Fancies as Chainlink 1, activate Rocket Ride as Chainlink 2. So Fancies effect will allow me to special summon out a monster and discard one card, which will be a Prank Kids place, and then the special summon the monster that I will special summon. And since I don't want to banish my Thunder Dragon Fusion from my hand, I have to go into special summoning out my Lamseys, even after I discarded one Lamseys. So now I will go into activating my Rocket Ride, and I need to, one of the cards that I get out has to be my Doodle-Doo, since I haven't used the effect of Doodle-Doo, and the other card doesn't matter. So one Doodle-Doo, and then one named Prank Kids monster, and then you go into special summoning. First off, you activate your Doodle-Doo's effect. I want to get this right? So I need to have the Pandemonium back in my hand for the Butler combo, and I will choose to get my Lamseys, one of the Lamseys out, since I have a copy of the Lamseys on the field, which will be sent to the graveyard. So now I will special summon out my Prank Kids Bow Bark, and then off of the Lamseys effect, I'll activate Lamseys. No, don't want to use Pandemonium, and then the monster you special summon out will be your Fancies. Again, 2k defense. Again, normal summon monster usually can't get over the 2k defense your monster puts up. And then set down my Pandemonium. Put this on. Now over here, I can use the Thunder Dragon Fusion, activate it, and go into my Battle Butler right now. But I don't want to do that because if my opponent somehow negates my Battle Barks effect, then my Battle Butler would be open to any card destruction effects. Example would be like Raigeki, which would make my Battle Butler useless, and I would have nothing on the field to play around with. Okay, so I end my turn. So first off, I have to see what cards I have in my graveyard. So one Doodle-Doo, one Rocket Ride, and then one Lamseys. So yes, I will activate Prank Kids Pranks. One Rocket Ride, one Doodle-Doo, and one Lamseys. Because I already have a copy of Lamseys in my hand, I'm gonna choose to send the Lamseys from my graveyard back into my deck. So Prankies Pranks is the card you use to rotate cards from your graveyard back into your deck and draw one card. Okay, so now I have all the pieces for the Battle Butler combo, so even if my Battle Box effect gets denied, we could still go into a Battle Butler. And the cards I will target will be, I will get a Prank Kids Place and a Dropsies. So now he does have something in his hand that he can use to maybe negate Bawa Bark. It could be a back C. You never know what kind of hand trap they could be playing. So they chose not to use it. And the reason why I go for Prank Kids Plays is because I want to use Prank Kids Plays next turn to buff up my monsters or lower the attack of opponent's monsters. So they are playing Virtual World. Okay, so against Virtual World, you if you have an Ash Blossom in your hand, you want to Ash Blossom then a Virtual World teammate, which I'll show you when they activate their effect up. So they're not gonna start activating effects of their cards in their hand, and this card is gonna search place one Virtual World Gate card face up. Points the number of cards you control. Control game turn. Okay, so it's kind of sad that I couldn't go into my full combo, which would allow me access to Harpy's Feather Duster off of the Rip Roaring Roosters effect, which I could have used to clear out his back row. But you play with what you get, right? So now he's gonna get one card, which will be Chuche. Yeah, he got the Chuche. And so after he gets that, I can activate the effects of Prankies in my graveyard. And what Chuche does is, as you can see, target one face-up card in the field, shuffle two of your banished virtual world cards with different names from each other into the deck, and then destroy that card. So, okay, card destruction effects. Virtual World Chuche is right now it's useless to him because card destruction effects don't matter to us because Battle Box effect. So just for this turn, I'm immune to card destruction. And the card I'll send to the graveyard will be Prank Kids Place. I want to keep two Pandemoniums in my deck, and since I already have one in rotation in my graveyard, the special summon out the monsters after that. So usually I go for two Roxys and then one Dropsies or one Fansies. I usually never special summon out Lamsies off of this effect. So over here you'll see I will go for two Roxys and one Dropsies. Usually the best possible scenario is it the Virtual World teammate? Yeah, so this is the card that you want to Ash Blossom if you have an Ash Blossom in your hand. So he got the summon out. Now he's gonna activate the effect of Quinlong from his graveyard, or maybe where did he get? Oh, Kieran. No, he's probably gonna activate Quinlong from his graveyard, I assume. So we have to wait. You don't want to. Oh, he has a Quinlong in his hand. Okay, so you don't want to activate Battle Butler as soon as you summon out one monster. You want to wait, right? So I know he still has a way to get. Okay, so what? Till the end of this turn. Okay, so he's gonna target. Yes. I mean, he can just get this card back out anyways. No, don't want to use its effect again. So he is trying to deny me my Battle Butler's effect so he can go into special summoning out monsters and go up to, I would say, what is VFD, the True King of all Calamities, or his Shenlong. Oh, not Shenlong, sorry, his QB. So now my Battle Butler is basically useless. It's just a 3K body on the field, And now he's gonna get the Lulu back out on the field off of the Quinlong's effect. I'm assuming it's gonna be a Lulu. No, he's not gonna get Lulu, he's gonna get Lao Lao. Okay. So um if I had access to my full combo, right now I wouldn't be facing this problem. Yes, my Battle Butler's effect would have been denied, but I would have been able to pop his whole back row. So now he has two monsters on the field. Does he have Chi-Chi in the field? Yes, he does. So now he got his two tuners and two normal summons. Let's see what combo he goes into. Okay, so this is getting kinda repeating, so I'll put this back on auto. Actually, since I don't have Battle Butler's secondary effect would get denied as well, right? So even if it gets destroyed, the effect wouldn't go off anyway, so I can put this back on off. So it did go into his QB Shenshen. Let's see what he uses the other two cards for. Okay, so he's going to activate Chu-Chei's effect, target one card, and then get its level up. Got it to 6. He got two level 6 monsters on the field. Let's see what he goes into. And there is the Phoenix. Okay, so he went into Phoenix. What can he... Okay, so he is gonna banish my Battle Butler. So he's gonna banish my Battle Butler and one of the monsters on my field, I'm assuming. Or in the graveyard. So from the graveyard, I'll assume he'll banish my Bawa Bark. So thinking back, as soon as I saw his Quinlong, I probably should have gone. No, that wouldn't matter, right? Even I summoned Battle Butler before I saw the Quinlong. I was assuming he didn't have Quinlong in his hand, which was a bad assumption because he did have a Quinlong and a Chu-Chi in his hand, just like one of the best starts for Virtual World players. And he had Lulu. Oh, so he's choosing to banish Pandemonium and Battle Butler. Alright, so I have to get another Pandemonium from my deck to my graveyard to get it back into rotation. But before that, I have to get rid of this QB somehow because any card it basically acts as a macrocosmo, where it says any card sent from the field to the graveyard is banished instead. So every card will get banished. Like the banishment of my Butler really hurt me a lot because if my Butler went to the graveyard, I could still use Thunder Dragon Fusion. I could still go into Doodle Doo, and then using Doodle Doo's effect, get my Butler from my graveyard back into my extra deck, and then go into Thunder Dragon Fusion and summon out my Battle Butler. So now he's gonna try to destroy this card. That won't work because our cards, Prankist cards, are immune to card destruction effect. Okay, so he's probably gonna choose to use Call by the Grave on my Bawa Bark. There it is, my Bawa Bark to the banishment. And this deck that I run, it doesn't have any means of getting banished cards back into your graveyard or back into your extra deck or back into your deck or back into your hand. So all these cards that are banished are permanently banished except for if I had access to Thunder Dragon, Battle Butler, I could still get my Cropsies from my banishment pile to my deck, but you know. So right now, our only options to kill him are that if I somehow go into, I can't even go into access code. I have to somehow go into mean, I guess, yeah, only access code. Okay, so he is going to go into 2 material Zeus. Alright, so he is trying to deny us any kind of play that we may make. So let's try to throw some baits out. I'll activate Pranki's Place, put this back on, get Lamses since I have 2 copies of Lamses in my deck. Now what I'll do is, since Thunder Dragon Fusion is useless, I will banish Thunder Dragon Fusion. Since I can't get my Battle Butler out of the banishment, then activate. Okay, so that did go into the banishment pile, but I'll still activate my. Oh, I completely forgot about the. Oh, I completely forgot about the Macrocosmos effect. Anyways, even if I. So, oh, this is gonna be bad. Even if I. Oh, even if I go into Rocket Ride, it's not gonna affect him much. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this. Like, these 2 cards are gonna get banished anyways. The banishment of the Battle Butler really hit us hard, and his Quinlong denying us our Battle Butler's effect hit us hard as well. So what I can do is since I haven't normal summoned out a monster, right? I can still use the Meow move on the field. Then since I do have I can activate this. I can activate this, and then no. Hit him, yes. I could get Fansies on the field. Then, I mean, this. I'll go into battle phase, get his Shen off of the field. I mean, try to get the Shen off of the field at least. Get his Shen off of the field. I mean, get Senshin. So now it's all about him going into Zeus, right? So activating Zeus. So hopefully he doesn't Zeus until 1, 2, face up, defense, face up, defense. See if he activates Zeus, so he still chose not to activate Zeus. So I haven't yet used the effect of okay, so I'll go into Doodle Doo. Like, he's waiting to hit us with Zeus. I don't know if he will activate Zeus on this. Right now, I'm not even sure at what point I want him to activate Zeus. Like, I want to get totally awesome out on the field so I can negate his Zeus. But as soon as he sees the other drops he summoned, I'm pretty sure he will instant He'll instant Zeus me. Card to the graveyard will be a Pandemonium. Special summon out a monster, yes, which will be my last. Oh, I could have special summon. I mean, doesn't really matter, right? So let's see if he uses this. I will normal summon out my other dropsies. Let's see. Hopefully he doesn't use Zeus right here. If I could go into totally awesome. Okay, he chose not to use it. Nice, nice, nice. So totally awesome, which will completely shut down his Zeus play. And even if he does use it, I could set Zeus back on my field. Special summon. Now, technically, okay, so Quinlong this turn. So this is here. Just got make that turn. Send one card from my hand to the graveyard. Okay. To the deck and destroy that card. During your main phase, you can banish this card from the graveyard and target to emotional control. Okay. So the question is, do I want to go into Nightmare Unicorn? Even if I go into access code, I don't have any. I'll only get one pop. Like, access code is pretty much useless over here. So I'll go into Nightmare Unicorn. And then using Unicorn's effect, I will banish Thunder Dragon Fusion. And the card I want to send back to his deck is his Quinlong, because I don't want him denying my Totally Awesome's effect. I'll set down oh, that's whatever I was setting down. So I will get 2 pops, right? But even with 2 pops, he could still get QB on the field. He could still use Quinlong's effect to get 1 card. He could still use this. So no, because as soon as my access code hits the field, he'll insta-Zeus me, right? So 1, 2, 3. I probably took too long. I only have 26 seconds left. So now I have to hurry up. Terraforming, pretty bad. I was hoping for a Prank Kids card. Prank Kids named monster card, because then I would be able to use Pandemonium. Or no, I can't use Pandemonium. I need 2 monsters of Pandemonium, right? Yeah, Pandemonium would have been useless anyways. Named Prank Kid monster would have been useless anyways. I am not gonna activate my Totally Awesome on that. Okay, so Pot of Desires, he chose to banish Pot of Desires, discard Pot of Desires, okay. He could have used Pot of Desires to draw 2 more cards. Okay, let's see what play he goes into. So our toggle is on. The plays he has are with the QB, he'll get it back on the field. He could still normal summon out monsters. So let's see what kind of play he goes into. So he will get his QB on the field, like I can't stop his QB play. Actually, you know what, yeah. I will stop his QB play. I mean, even if he Zeuses us, we still have to do this play because I don't want him getting the Macrocosmos. I could still do something on my next turn. Because if he Zeuses us this turn, his Zeus is out of charges, right? So we could still do something next turn. Activate, get our Prankets Dropsies from the graveyard, hopefully from the graveyard back to our hand. See if he denies us. I don't know what, I know the card in his hand is a Virtual World Monster card because we saw him get that card. So his Chuche's effect is up because he has two different named Virtual World cards in his banishment pile, which he can get back into his deck. So he's gonna destroy our Prankest Pranks using that card's effect. Okay. So he got the Quinlong and I'm guessing the Lulu back from his, yeah, it was Lulu, from his banishment pile to his hand and destroyed our Prankest Pranks. He's gonna activate Lulu in his hand. So he's gonna target Chuche and I'm guessing he's gonna get Quinlong. Yep, there it is. He's gonna discard a Quinlong, get the Lulu on the field, and then draw a Lao Lao or Lily. Then he's gonna activate the card's effect, get his Nyan Nyan, and then special summon out his Lily. This is annoying. He had a perfect hand start, I'm thinking. Not much I can do as of yet. I'm not even sure if I can do anything on my coming turn either. If he summons out True King of all Calamities, it's basically GG for me. Okay, so Vermilion Bird Dragon Mech will destroy our Nightmare Unicorn. So he doesn't have enough to kill me. Oh, he's choosing to destroy my, okay. He's choosing to destroy my Pandemonium. So he was wary of the card we set down. So it's gonna still hit me for around 5k or 4 point something. That's 3k, 4.5k, so 4,500 damage. Okay, so he's not gonna use up the charges on Zeus. So he still wants to keep Zeus around. Okay, so if we can't end him this turn, so I need a Raigeki off of this draw. Monster Reborn, not bad. What I can do is it a... Okay, so I'll activate Terraforming. Since I don't... How many I have? Oh, all my fansies are in the graveyard, so I can't activate Thunder Dragon Fusion. Thunder Dragon Fusion's effect from the graveyard to get a fansies out. Okay, Pranket's Place. Activate Pranket's Place. So the only card effect I have to worry about right now is Zeus, right? Designated card, yes, please. I will hit Lamses. Okay, so in my graveyard, do I have... Did I banish my Rocket Ride? No, my Rocket Ride is back in my... Okay, so do I have a Doodoo 2 in my graveyard? I don't have a doodle-doo either. So I have two doodle-doos in my extra deck currently. Okay. So the card I can Monster Reborn is Totally. And if I Monster Reborn Totally, then I have to start with... Well, I guess I could still start with Dropsies, but how many? I have two, three. So I currently... Okay. How many in the banishment? So this is the last Dropsies in the rotation. And... Okay, so this is the last Dropsies in the rotation. So I'll start with Lampsies. I'll go into my combo. And I'll try to... well... Okay, so I can go this, do this, see if he uses Zeus now. So he wants to hold on to his Zeus as long as possible, right? So that's what he's thinking. Does he want to use Zeus right now to clear out my field? Like, even if he clears out my field with the Zeus will just kill off Meowmoo and my Prank Kids. Oh, he's gonna use Chuche's effect, okay. So we baited out Chuche. Killing off our Meowmoo does little to nothing to our combo because we still have Monster Reborn in our hand. Okay, so now he has nothing in his banishment pile that he could use Chuche off of. I guess I'll go with this. Then I'll activate like 20, 22, totally is 22 as well. Yeah, I could go with Monster Reborn on Totally. Now, does he want to use Zeus right now? I'm assuming he doesn't want to Zeus me just yet. But once Totally hits the field, his Zeus is useless again. There we go. So now, Zeus is currently offline. He can't use Zeus. I mean, even if he uses Zeus, I'll just totally use Zeus. Yes, please. And the card I'll send is no drops is in my hand. So it's gonna negate Zeus, destroy Zeus. Yes. And now the 3k monster with 3k monster attack defense is ours. Okay. So even if I go into which Anaconda is useless, right? So I'll go into attack. Oh, that's fine, right? Because I want to negate his QB play. I want to negate his QB play. Wait, what did he do? So he returned Called by the Grave to his hand. That's fine. Called by the Grave is not a big deal. So the thing we want to stop is his QB play. Even if he uses his card to pop... Okay, so the first card he did was QB's effect. So I want to totally his QB's effect. And I'll use totally itself to sacrifice. I'm gonna deny him his QB. Actually, I should have let him get QB on the field and denied him his Chuche's effect. Oh, I kinda misplayed there. Yeah, I kinda misplayed. Yeah, I misplayed, because he'll use Chu-Che's effect. Oh, it's a face-up card on the field, okay. So he has to ram his... Oh, he can still target one face-up. So he has one face-up and one... What doesn't matter card. Like it could be face-up or face-down, so okay. This is gonna be kinda annoying. Maybe I should have let his QB play go through. And since this needs a face up, I should have negated his Vermilion Dragon. Maybe I should have done that. He's just gonna go into the full combo again and I can't stop him. And his QB is back online. Yeah, I probably should have stopped his Vermilion Dragon Magneton instead of the QB. Yeah, so he's gonna destroy the Zeus. Yep, there it is. And with that, he'll destroy my Frankie's Roxy's. So he still has one more effect with Chu-Che. I should have waited. Yeah, I should have waited until either Vermilion Dragon or Chu-Che's effect went through. And he goes into True King of all calamities. This is basically GG's. Like, I can't stop his True King of all calamities. He's just gonna use its effect. And, I mean, it's GG's anyways. But yeah, even if I survived that, he would just True King of all calamities me on my turn. And my turn would have been over without me doing anything. I can still activate the effects from the graveyard, yes, but I can't attack or activate my monster's effects on the field. Anyways, it was a pretty good long game, I would say. Okay, so the deck that I was gonna show you. So as I said before, this was the Magician not this. It's the Harpies deck. This was the Magician's Odd Eyes FTK deck. If he so it's not FTK deck because he's not running the Starving Venom Dragon. So this was just Magician's Pendulum deck. It wasn't the FTK version. Okay, I guess. You see all kinds of strange stuff in gold anyways. Alright, gold 5 versus gold 4. Okay, lost the coin toss. Going expected, going second. Alright guys, so one more hour. I'll play for 1 more hour and then I'll be done for today. Because I kinda do have to get up early tomorrow to do some work. Anyways, Sky Striker. Not bad, okay. We do have a Called by the Grave, but that's about the only hand trap we have, and a Nibiru. But usually on turn 1, Sky Striker. Oh, Dark Century? He's not playing just a Sky Striker version? Is he playing the final? So he's playing 2 Ultimates to secure his win. He's playing the final version and Sky Striker. That does not prevent your opponents from attacking directly. Not sure if this attack touches a coin, but if shelters heads, negate them, and if we do inflict. Okay. So first off, what you want to do is Called by the Grave his Sky Striker Ace Ray. Discard, banish it. Banish it as fast as you can. And now we hope that our opponent doesn't Ash Blossom us, because if he... Okay, so we're kinda stuck with a dead hand. Okay. So I'll set down my skill drain. Even if I get a token, right? Like it's pretty much useless because I can only go into Meowmoo, and I don't want to send Meowmoo into the graveyard, like without a butler or something on the field. I don't want to just send a Meowmoo into the graveyard for it to be sitting there. Um, I will choose to activate skill drain as soon as my opponent's turn starts. Okay, so skill drain's effect went through. So let's see if he's playing the can't talk. Sky Striker final deck. So usually, like, I've seen videos of the Destiny board, Destiny board final. I'm guessing is that right? Destiny board final, where you get the F, I, and L cards on the field and you win automatically after you get those cards on the field. Alright, let's see what our opponent does. Like, I still have a Nibiru, so even if he goes into 5 special summons, I could still Nibiru him. Alright, let's see what card he adds from his deck to his hand. It could be... okay, so it's... okay. It's the... what you would call it? Afterburners. One face-up monster can destroy, then if you have 3 or more spells in the graveyard, you can destroy 1 spell trap on the field. 3 or more. So he needs to send 1 more spell from his hand or deck to the graveyard to... okay, so he can't do that, I am assuming. Oh, okay, so this card's effect it's gonna get denied anyways with skill drain. So if he manages to send 1 other spell card from his hand or deck, okay, he can't do that. So Afterburner's effect is negated. Alright, okay. So we need to draw a Prankid's monster. Okay, so we did draw a Prankid's monster. We could go into... he still has... okay, so the card effects that he can activate, he can still activate this card. Mobilize Engage. What's the other card he set down? The other card he set down is another Afterburner. We're pretty much screwed over. Let's try. Let's hope it's not Afterburner. So off of the Roxy's, I will choose to. Oh God. All right. I will choose. As I was saying, I will choose to banish Nibiru, and I will special summon out, but it's gonna be in defense position. This is gonna be annoying. So now what I'll do is I'll just set down my Pandemonium to go into, to go into Weather Washer on my opponent's turn. Yeah, to go into Weather Washer on my opponent's turn, so I can still use Weather Washer's effect to get 2 monsters on the field that will be indestructible by battle. So the card, even if he's specials, like his cards, like even if I want to maxi, right? If I maxi him right here, even if he special summons out the monster, unless mind control or be tributed. Alright, I guess so. It's gonna force me to activate my Pandemonium. Since if he takes control of my Meowmoo, I won't be able to activate Pandemonium. So I'll just go into a Pandemonium. I'll just activate Pandemonium and go into my Weather Washer right now. so his mind control becomes useless. And with mind control and terraforming, with him activating this mobilize engage, he will have 3 spell traps in his graveyard. So afterburners could destroy our skill drain. No, special summon out a monster, yes, which will be my fancies. And do I want? So over here, I will activate Maxi because I know he wants to afterburner my skill drain so he can go into his combo with Sky Striker, so I will choose to activate Maxi in the hopes of it buying me 1 turn. Okay, so this is kind of a misplay, I'm guessing, because if he doesn't have 2 afterburners, he can't get rid of my skill drain. And he does have 2 afterburner, so I will activate my Weather Washer's effect, and I'll choose not to use Meowmoo. And with that, I'll get Prankid's Fancies and Lamseys back on the field. Face up, defense, face up, defense. And Afterburner will get negated, I see. He did have 3, okay. He's gonna use engage. So with engage, I'm assuming he'll probably search for another afterburner. I'm not too sure. He could be searching for a ray. But my most likely guess would be another afterburner to get rid of my skill drain on the field. No, he chose to go for Widow Anchor. Okay. So he drew 2 cards off of the engage because he had 2. He had 3 or more spell cards in his graveyard. Okay, so now he's gonna engage maneuver jamming ways. Got rid of 1 card. Alright, but it can't be destroyed by battle, so we're safe. So with his multi-roll, so he set down his Widow Anchor, right? So with multi-roll, he probably set down Afterburner and Engage. So that's the Afterburner. He could probably set down 2 Afterburners themselves. So Afterburner and Jamming Waves. So Jamming Waves makes it so that one of his he'll destroy it. Okay. Raigeki is basically useless at this point. Like, the spell traps on it. I was hoping for a Harpy's Feather Duster. If a Harpy's Feather Duster if I had gotten a Harpy's Feather Duster, it would have been a game. It would have been GG's right there. Alright, so he's choosing not to activate any of his traps and letting me go into my combo, which is pretty good for us. Okay, so I know he set down 1 Widow Anchor, so if you control no monsters, your main monster have 1 phase of effect monster will negate the phase, and if you until the end of turn, if you have 3 or more spells in your graveyard, you can take control of the monster. So he does have 3 or more spell cards in his graveyard, which is 1, 2, 3. So me activating Doodle-Doo's effect will make it so that he can take control of my Doodle-Doo. So I will not do that. And I'll get Prankid's what you call it, Fancies. So now I could activate Doodle-Doo. It is gonna be a one card combo, and I do have a Pandemonium in my graveyard. So I'll activate Doodle-Doo. I mean, it doesn't matter what monster I get, right? No, activate my Prank Kids Pranks. No, activate Prank Kids Pranks. And I'll discard the Mantis that I got off of the Doodle-Doo. No. Special summon now. Bow Wow Bark. I can't go into two Doodle-Doos. Well, basically I have enough stuff in my graveyard to get out of the Prankies Pranks and Bow Wow Bark. So the card I would send will be Frankie's Place. Special summon now. Yes. I will go for Dropsies. No. Set down my Pandemonium. Now the question is, do I want to destroy his Sky Striker card, right? Like if he can't get a monster on the field, yeah, I want to destroy this guy since his Ray is banished. So I want to destroy his Sky Striker card. And I'm gonna take 2k damage because of that card. Oh, that sucks. Alright, so I'll end my turn. Prank Kids Pranks is gonna get activated. The cards I want to get are my Weather Washer, one Meow Moo, and one Pansies. Yeah. Since I have another Doodle-Doo in my extra deck, I don't wanna get the Doodle-Doo back from my graveyard in case I wanna go into access code and try to kill him next turn. No, don't use the effect of Meow Moo. And I'm gonna need my Lamsies and my Fansies back in my hand. So he's waiting for me to go into Battle Butler so he can Widow Anchor my Battle Butler. But I will probably not go into Battle Butler, and I'll probably end up going into Weather Washer anyways. So even if he tries to Widow Anchor my Weather Washer, I'll just sacrifice the Weather Washer to get 2 more cards out of the field, which will be my Bow Wow Bark and my Doodle-Doo. What's this? Oh, he's got Hornet Drones. So he could still go into his Sky Striker play, right? So I'm not gonna activate my Pandemonium just yet. No Pandemonium. Let's see what he does. He goes into Hayate. So since he is going into Hayate, I'll activate my Pandemonium and using this and using these two, I'll go into Weather Washer and then activate these 2 cards effect from my graveyard. Now at this point I want to inflict damage to him. That's my priority over me gaining 1000 life points, so that's why Chain Linked drops his Chain Link too. And I'm not gonna activate Weather Washer's effect just yet. I'm waiting for him to activate his Widow Anchor on my Weather Washer to and then um, I want to activate Weather Watcher after he does that. Okay, so we are immune to card destruction effects. Why is he targeting Hayate? What? Did he misclick? Did he misclick somehow? Okay, so he wants to get rid of Skill Drain and he got rid of Skill Drain. Okay, let's see what he does next. So he did go into Widow Anchor and he's trying to get our Weather Washer through Widow Anchor, which I won't allow him to. And then I'll just get my Bow Bark and my Doo back on the field. Bow Bark over here. Since Gildren is not on the field, by summoning them out this way, you can boost your Doodle Doo 3k. You see these two arrows pointing towards each other. If you make them point towards each other, you can get your Doodle Doo up to 3k instead of the normal 2k. Okay, so he's gonna set down Widow Anchor, and I'm assuming Afterburners. Oh, no, it's Hornet Drones, okay. And Afterburner. There it is. So he set down. So, so the card. Oh, I got another skill. Very nice. So the card I'm worried about the most is his Widow Anchor. So what I can do right now like I only have one Dropsies in the graveyard, right? Okay, so what I can do I could go straight into access code, right? How many pops will I get? If I use these two cards, I'll get 3 pops, but if I go into access code, it will instantly use, yeah. So I have to start going into my combo, right? So I'll go into my Prankist combo, and the card I want to get on the field, is yes, boom, and special summon out another Doodle Doo using these 2 cards. Okay, activate that, and I don't want to activate Doodle Doo on the field because he'll use his Widow Anchor to take control of my Doodle Doo. But at this point I'm guessing he wouldn't do that because he wants to take control of a bigger monster. But anyways. Wait, what? I have 1, 2... Oh no. I completely forgot. That's still fine. So what I can do now is I activate Doodle Doo's effect, and the card I want to get is 1 Dropsies and 1 let's Prankits. Do I want to get Prankits? Yeah, I'll take Prankits place in my hand. Okay. Then I'll normal summon now, he drops these. Let's see if he chooses to use. So now if he doesn't use Widow Anchor, okay, so he's basically screwed at this point. So I'll go into my Totally, and then using these 4 cards, I'll go into my Rip Roaring Rooster and just pop his whole back row. Okay, so he's choosing not to use it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. So now, using these 4 cards, I mean these 3 cards, I'll instantly go into a Rooster, activate this, I don't want to activate Rip Roaring Rooster, special summon out a monster, yes, which would be this, no. And then now, I'll go into battle phase, no. First hit with Totally, no. Okay, so I can't negate, okay. So he will get hit with that, no. No. Okay. Hit him with my Roaring Rooster. No, don't want to activate. Let's see if I win. Oh, I lost the coin toss. Okay. Alright. And then I'll go... Game room. बघा आजच रमू છું ફ્રેન્ડ્સ બોલા એટલે રમવા આવ્યો ટેન્શન દૂર કરવા જ રમું છું 1 કલાક થયો મને ચાલુ કર્યો છે sorry about that I'll just end my phase over here no to Rip Roaring Rooster's effect just yet no. Alright, let's see. Yes to prank his pranks. So I need to get at least one do out, right? I'll get one Power Bark and one of I'll get one of that in my hand anyways. So I'll get Lamses as my 3rd card. No, don't want to use my Roaring Roar. Ash Blossom, no. નતો રમતો તારે Yes to using Meow Move. So now he has to use Widow Anchor's effect to try to negate this because I'll destroy his whole back row. I mean, even if he uses Widow Anchor, even if he uses his Afterburners, it's not going to matter much, no. So his whole back row gets popped, no. No to using Skill Drain, and he insta-scoops. As you can see, going into Rip Roaring Rooster and popping back rows against back row decks is really satisfying. Give me 1 second. Uh, 12, 131. I'll play for. I played 2 more games. I'll play 2 more games for today, and I'll call it quits after. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games played today. Yeah, 2 more games I would say. Okay, so gold 5 versus gold 4. Let's go. Lost the coin toss. Not too worried about it too much. Did end up going second. That's usually the case. You lose your coin toss, you go second. Uh, no hand traps whatsoever. Okay. And our opponent's playing Shadal, invoked Shadal, which is going to be a problem. Uh, he went straight into Artemis. Okay, goes into Invocation. I'm assuming it's gonna be a Mekaba. And here comes the Mekaba. And oh, it's a Dogmatica invoked Shadal, I'm assuming then. Okay. Let's see this card. This card is okay, so he got Dogmatica Punishment. He has Alistair in his hand. The set down card is his Dogmatica Punishment. Oh, it's not Dogmatica Punishment. Okay. Let's see. I'll activate Prank Kid's Place. Banish that card. Okay. Mekaba. Okay, so he chose to use Mekaba's effect on our Prank Kid's Place. Okay, we don't care. So that's the bait I threw out, right? That's the bait we threw out. Prank Kid's Pranks. Prank Kid's Place. Now we can go into our normal summon. See if he has an answer to this. Even if he somehow destroys this card, as long as this card is not banished, we could just Monster Reborn the card and get it back on the field, right? So I chose not to do it, so I'll go into my one card combo. I will choose to activate it. Let's see if he has Nash Blossom. I'm going for the greedy play. The card I'll banish will be the other Roxy's in my hand. And we drew a Fansies off of it, which is kind of bad because we are going to special summon out Fansies. Or, sorry, Fansies in the third turn, but... Okay, let's go for the normal one card combo, I guess. So the Fansies in our hand is basically a dead card right now. Then we go into our do-do. Chainlink one Fansies, Chainlink to do-do. Let's see if he has something, see if he Ash Blossoms. No, it's just gonna special summon out another Dogmatica. Okay. That is gonna be annoying, so it's gonna get negated. Not too much worried about it. Oh, I sent the wrong card. We have a Pandemonium in our hand anyway, so it doesn't matter. No. So we go into another doodle-doo. I was hoping to send pranks off of this, but I kinda messed up. I was thinking it was still on the doodle-doo. Anyways. Activate my Lampsies in the graveyard. Special summon out a monster, yes, which will be my Dropsies. And then I don't have the Prankets Pranks in my hand, which is um, bad. So I can 3, 4, 5. But if I use Pandemonium going to Rocket, I'll be locked into Prankets cards. So what I can do, um, I can't go into Rocket Ride, nor can I send to the graveyard. Um, what I am more worried about, is it the back row set or the Mechaba next turn? What am I more worried about? I'm more worried about the back row set instead of the Mechaba. Because he could just get another Mechaba since he has an Astro in his hand anyways. And if we want our skill drain to get activated next turn, we have to destroy the Mechaba this turn, right? Yeah, we have to destroy Mechaba. Um, 3 plus effect monsters. Oh, our opponent scooped. I don't know why he scooped. I was thinking about going to Battle Butler this turn, taking out his Mechaba, and then going into actually I don't know if that was the right play either. Anyways, our opponent kind of scooped. I don't know why. So he was playing Invoked Shaddoll Dogmatica deck. As you guys can see, the Dogmatica cards, the Shaddoll cards, and Invoked cards. Invoked, invoked, and invoked. What time is it? Actually, I'll call it a quits for today. I kind of do have to get up early tomorrow. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed my stream. I do have a YouTube channel. You guys could go check it out. I upload 2 videos daily on it. I have like over 120 videos on it already. Anyways, hope you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy. And if you go on the YouTube, like, share, subscribe, comment on it. I really look forward to you guys' comments on it. Anyways, have fun dueling in ranked, and this is JPB Duel signing out.